So yeah, and what's more, when the prisoners would have people come and visit them, this is the original door from when it was in jail. So the prisoners would come and sit on the opposite side of it, on the original thing, and the prisoners would always exit out the door that we all use. And yeah, and one time I came to work and was so, and then later I'll take you to level 8 where I'll show you literal death row, and then the gallows that are absolutely real. So please follow me, and FYI, there will be a component where we go outside. So if anybody wants to get sleeves, which I highly recommend, please get a jacket or get sleeves. And yeah, so follow me. All right.
Guys, nandito tayo sa hostel. Dati itong jail, guys. So, nagtutour kami. Ito daw ay dating jail na ginawang hostel. So, ito yung kitchen nila. Meron silang free breakfast. Dito kami nag-breakfast kanina. Ayun, guys. So, tapos na yung breakfast nila kasi hanggang 10:30 lang. 6 to 10:30. Ayan, guys. Kanina, dito kami mupo, guys. So,
Ottawa Island being a brutal and archaic and really horrible place. And then what happened was in 1980, Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau wrote it shut down in 72, and then 1 year later in 1973, it opened as a youth hostel.
So, kanina, guys, dito kami nakaupo. Ito yung extended kitchen nila. Ayan ang floor. So, guys.
Gusto mo jacket?
Hindi. Pinahubad niya nga yung mga jacket eh.
So, this part of the jail is also quite ancient as well, which is why in a moment. What would happen was when the prisoners were sentenced and had to go to jail, they were sentenced next door in what used to be the old courthouse. But what happened was, after they were sentenced, they would leave the courtroom and then they would head to another room where they would face the guard force. And then the guard force would take every prisoner and they would strip them naked, place them in heavy chains and shackles, blindfold them, then spin them around in a circle 10 or 15 times, and then douse them in extremely cold water. And then we lead the prisoners up and into the jail via secret underground tunnel and stairwell, which is right there. That is the tunnel. So if someone gives it a good stomp, you'll really hear it. Go ahead.
It's a tunnel. This one. This one.
We had to
This is
cover
a
up the
tunnel.
tunnel though because of all the rats. Lots of nasty rats the whole
the
time
rats.
that it was a jail.
This is the tunnel.
And then the prisoners would be led up and into the jail via there, blindfolded of course, because the jail never wanted anyone to see or learn how they first got into the jail. And when they arrived, they would face the Surgeon General. And the Surgeon General of the jail had a very neat and specific job. He would. All right, follow me. I'll lead you
Original
to
door daw
solitary
yan, guys.
confinement. Please.
So, we're moving to another portion. Guys, tignan mo to, guys. So, ito yung jail. Ito yung pinaka-jail.
Solitary confinement. If you were put into solitary confinement, you were having a bad day. This was where they would put the most uncooperative of prisoners. It was never lit, and the door was often sealed for sound. So if everyone's okay with it, I can kill the light for 2 seconds to give you the full scary effect if you're okay with it. And that's how stark, dark, and nasty it absolutely used to be way back when. the prisoners would be sentenced for a minimum of up to 12 hours and a maximum of up to 6 months.
Oh my God.
And it was terrible. There was never a single bed, mattress, or pillow ever placed in here. All they ever did was sleep on this floor. And it was just nasty. They were never allowed to speak to anyone, and if they did speak or shout or cause any kind of a ruckus, their prison sentence would be extended. And look on the sides, you will see the original chain links. I mean, very literally under your feet. Yep, you'll see the original chain links on the sides. Those chain links were where they absolutely chained people to the floor. They brought them in here and chained them, and would chain them face down on the floor, where they would induce corporal punishment.
Okay guys, kawawa naman yung nakulong dito guys. So yung pops daw dito lang daw nilalagay sa plastic, honey bucket. Tapos pag napuno yun is, minsan tinatapon lang dyan sa loob ng room na yan guys. Minsan nagtatagal sila dyan ng mga up to 6 months. Okay, thank you. So, pupunta naman tayo sa ibang part ng jail. Mga insan. Okay guys. Ito yung pinaka, ano nila, parang breakfast. Dito nagbe-breakfast. Ayun yung canteen guys. Ayan guys.
This part of the jail was the family jail. So back when there was a jail, what they used to do is if you were a prisoner and you had a family, they didn't believe that separating the family unit was a very good idea, so they just brought you and your whole family and threw you all into jail.
Oh my God.
Which is a very counterproductive means of social reform, if you ask me. But then what happened was after 1920, they said this is not a good idea. So then from 1920 through 1972, they made this the family jail. So, I'm sorry.
Family jail.
They made this into a chapel. So this is where they would offer religious services. And they served a sentence of up to 4.5 years. But when they were released 4.5 years later, they were so emaciated and dehydrated and unfortunately so abused that their parents did not even recognize them. They looked like they were 40 years old, unfortunately. But on the flip side, the oldest prisoner to ever stay here was an 87-year-old man named Robert Brown, and he was put in for 4 days for drunkenness. So I imagine he used it as a point of pride that the oldest man ever stayed here and all he did was get quite drunk. But not so that the prisoners would feel as though they were being watched at all times, even if they can't actually see the guard force. You know, kind of like Google. And what happened was when they built this jail in the 1850s, they adopted the panopticon not by sight but by sound, hence the ceilings. These are called bell curve ceilings or drum cell ceilings. And they're meant to design and traffic capture sound. So that's why when I do this, it can be heard all the way down. So that's why at night, why it's so loud and echoey, is because of the metal that the guards used. That is a weapon. It's a thick piece of cherry wood mounted with a thick piece of leather. And the leather was put onto it because it could withstand the blood, unfortunately. But we're allowed to display that one because this one's not quite as evil as the others. And if you look over here on my left, oh, and by the way,
Guys, papasok tayo sa kitchen. Ito yung kitchen nila guys. Ayan.
But if you look over here on the left,
Guys, may TV dyan.
An old pair of handcuffs. Those are the original safeties. And I was doing this tour today to be nothing but
Diyan daw sumisilip yung guard, guys. Diyan sa butas na yan.
And I know this place is very, very old, but this is as old.
So ito guys, yung paddle. Oh.
And over here,
Noong unang
these are
panahon.
the original cast iron bars from when this was a jail. This is absolutely
Basa ba,
reinforced
guys?
steel built during the Industrial Revolution. So we did not get this at IKEA. Alright, please follow me.
Okay guys. Punta naman sa iba guys.
Yes, everyone said go ahead, look into
So,
the people.
yun
I'm gonna
guys.
scoot along ahead. But yeah, really can take a look because it's very, very neat. Alright, so everyone.
Yun yung sinisilip nila yung...
Ah, yun yung sinisilip. Yun yung sinisilip guys. Prison Chapel. Okay.
Silipin natin ka.
So, doon daw sinisilip guys. Yan. So, silipin mo na. Nakasilip ka na. So, akin tayo sa taas. Ang ganda ng wall nila. Oh. Tapos may mga reyes sa kakapal ng bakal. Oh. Yan nyo guys. So, pupunta kami sa 4th floor. 4th floor guys. Dito kami guys. Dito yung room namin. Sa 5th floor. So we're here now on the 6th floor.
Stairs for when this was a jail. These are the stairs that they used to escort the prisoners to their cells. There's another set of stairs, but it's on the opposite side of the jail. We'll get to those in a few moments' time. But forgive me, I just have to take my asthmatic inhaler. Just one moment, because I'm a big fan of air. They would have heat, beds, amenities in all the kitchen. Whereas the whole jail was never heated though. In levels 2, 4, 6, and 8, there was never heat at any point in time. So oftentimes it was very, very, very cold.
Imagine,
and I personally am from
napakalamig
Ottawa,
no, wala
so I
pang
can tell
heater
you right
before.
now that our winters are viciously cold. So much so that the first 3 words of every Canadian child are, "Fuck, it's cold." Sorry, I just swore. It's off to jail for me. So unfortunately, prisoners really would pass away from hypothermia, frostbite, and pneumonia rather cruelly, whereas the guards would have all the heat and beds and everything they ever could want. And level 9, though, that was the
Guys. Next level. Level 8.